Good morning, everybody. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make your own very easy aromatherapy rice bags. And these are going to be great. I like to have them and heat them up in the microwave and put them on my neck. You know, if you're stressed or you've got some tension or some aching muscles in your neck or your shoulders, one of these aromatherapy bags can really help to kind of bring some comfort and soothing. You could make them and put them into the freezer so that if you need something, you know, cold, like for example, I know if I get a headache, sometimes putting something cold on the back of my neck can help, or, you know, across my eyes. So they can go in the freezer or you can refrigerate them. Today, I'm going to be using some essential oils. I have lavender and I have peppermint. Lavender, I know Chris has been teaching you guys a lot about essential oils. I like to use lavender for relaxation. So that's one that I'm going to do today to put it in there. And that's the one that I like to kind of wrap around my neck. That's the one that is kind of just more for the relaxation. The peppermint oil is what I like to use for something if I have a headache. Peppermint oil can be very effective in helping to relieve some of the symptoms of headache. So that's what I would use the peppermint oil for. So you don't need very much to make this. So I'm going to show you. I have, this is like a lady's knee-high stocking. You can get these at the dollar store. I found mine, it was a 2-pack at Walmart on clearance for $2. And then I'm going to use a nice long sock. The reason being is that we're going to be tying the end off, so you still want enough room in your therapy bag that you can, you know, lay it across your neck or your shoulder. So if you use a really short sock, you're going to be limited to how you can use it. But something that you can do, if you had a shorter sock, you might want to make a small one that you can maybe put over your eyes for relaxation, or if you wanted to use peppermint oil in there for if you suffer from headaches, or sometimes when you have a cold, you know, having some peppermint oil can kind of help us breathe a little bit easier. But I'm going to use a long sock today, okay? And then I picked up a 2-pound bag of rice. I think it was maybe around $2 for this big bag. And I'm gonna need, I did probably about 2.5 cups of rice because I do have a longer sock. So we're gonna see how that goes. We're gonna see, you don't want it to be really firm so that you can't move the rice around, and you don't want it to be too loose. What you want it to be able to do is to lay and relax where you set it. So you might kind of have to play with it depending on the size of the sock that you use. So the other thing I'm going to tell you guys, when you're working with essential oils, you don't want to use, so I measured out my rice and I put it into a metal bowl. You don't want to use anything plastic when you're working with the oils, you know, because the oils can get into the plastic, especially if you use that bowl for cooking or for eating out of any kind. You want to be very careful what you use. So if you buy a bowl at the dollar store that you just want to kind of use for something, a project like this, then that's fine. But if you're using something that you already have, use either glass or a metal bowl and a metal spoon. So I measured out my rice in my glass measuring cup because I'm going to be putting my essential oils in here. I wanted to, again, use glass. I didn't want to use plastic or anything that I would normally cook or bake with because I'm going to use my lavender oil, okay? So I'm going to add 12 drops of my lavender oil into my rice, and then I'm going to mix it around. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Now I'm just going to mix it gently around just to kind of get the the oils coated on several pieces of rice. Smells really good. Just kind of makes you already think about relaxing. Okay. So the next thing I did was I got a tall cup. This is actually a to-go coffee cup. And I took my stocking and I kind of set it down inside of there and wrapped the top over my glass. The reason I did this, it makes it easier to fill. If you're just trying to do it by holding it open, sometimes it gets a little tricky. So I want to try really hard not to spill. So I'm just going to use this to scoop up my rice. And I'm going to pour it into my stocking gently. Now the reason that we're using the stocking as well as the sock is it just helps if the sock would get a hole in it, for any reason. The stocking is a little bit of extra protection so that your rice doesn't go everywhere. Okay. I'm gonna take my stocking out of there, and you can see it moves and it bends. So like I said, we don't want to fill it so much that we can't move it around. Okay, you want to have some give in there so that the rice can move around. So now I'm gonna just simply tie off my stocking nice and tight. I'm gonna knot it twice just for safety. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to pull the end, fold it back over, so we have our initial rice bag. Now, you can get any kind of sock you want, but I kind of thought it'd be nice to do kind of something decorative. So I had found these socks at Walmart. They were on clearance for $1, and it was a 2-pack. So now I'm just gonna work that rice bag into my sock. So I've got it all spread out, and again, I'm going to knot the top of the sock. Now, depending on how thick your sock is, this is another thing to consider. Make sure you can knot it. Now, I'm only going to knot that one time. Okay. Whoop. All right. And there you go. It's done. So now you can see it can lay on my shoulder. It can go, around my neck. Not all the way around. You would have to use more rice if you wanted to make it a little bit longer. But again, you want it to be able to flex and bend. So it's going to kind of conform to kind of wherever, you put it. You could even, if you have a sore elbow or a knee, you could even use it there too. Now, when you're putting these in the microwave, something to keep in mind is it generates what I'm going to call moist heat, which means it's going to kind of be kind of steamy almost. Like you're not going to necessarily see steam come off of it, but so you have to be very careful not to get burnt. So I would like to say that you should start off with about a minute. And then take it out and see how it feels. If it feels too warm, if you go to touch it, you kind of pull your hand back really quickly. Let it just sit and cool down a little bit, but start with 1 minute and then maybe add about 15 to 30 seconds at a time. I threw this into the microwave for 2 minutes and I found that it was too hot. I could even, barely touch it. So you want to be very careful. Everybody's microwave is going to be a little bit different. So start off with that 1 minute. And then if you feel like you need to warm it up a little bit more, you can go ahead and add maybe 10 to 15 seconds at a time. But just be very careful when you're going to put it on. Make sure that you have a shirt on, or you lay a towel across the area. Don't put it right on your bare skin, just because you don't want your skin to be irritated by the heat, or if it does happen to be too hot, you don't want to cause yourself a burn. So I encourage you guys, if you get an opportunity to make these, they're cheap and they're pretty easy to make, and they make a really nice, even a gift. But they're really great. They're comforting. They're soothing. So if you get a chance to make it, great. If you have any questions, let us know. But I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.